What's up? It's Ice. Today we are going to be going over the M60A2 Starship. Um, it doesn't say Starship here, but it is. I think there's a variant of it called the Starship. I like calling it the Starship because, well, that's a pretty cool name. Um, First impressions, I've played this thing a couple times. It is completely stock except for the fact that I got parts. The next thing I'm going for is the ATGM because I love ATGMing, so yes, I'm going to ignore FPE for now, but that will be the following researched piece. Um, but The overall, this tank it's underplayed compared to how good it is for its BR, I'd say. I don't think a lot of people actually go for it, mostly because the line leading up to it is not interesting. I mean, most people will get the Hellcat for 5.7 and stop because the M36 Jackson is terrible. The Doom Turtle, although it's fun, it's unplayable on most maps because they're 20 kilometers wide and this thing doesn't go fast enough. Um, And obviously, this thing has good armor, but there's also Heat FS in the game, which doesn't really care about armor. So, really getting to the Starship, there's not a whole lot in terms of fun playable tanks, but the Starship itself is quite nice. So, one of the things I've noticed is that since the Americans do face off against the Russians quite often, you will face a lot of APHE and the occasional Heat FS. But whenever you're facing off against the APHE round, the front of this tank, when angled like this, is incredibly durable, especially from around 800 meters. Recently, I was just in a engagement with an Object 279, and we exchanged shells 4 times, and all he did was bounce 3 times off my upper plate and take out my machine gun. Nothing else got damaged on the tank. I was unable to get him because it's an Object 279, and this thing's ranging is quite slow, and it takes a long time to reload. Actually, what's the reload speed? My reload speed is 14.1 seconds. So yeah, it takes a long time to reload this thing. But it is got access to a heat round stock that has 380 pen, which is good. I would say at this BR, the only real threats of an up tier and composite armor would be the XM1. And if we go, and the XM1A is American, so you're only going to get it if you get into a mixed battle. But if we go to the protection analysis and we go take out the rank 5, I believe. Nope, but it's rank 6. Okay, rank 6. 8.0 M60A2 firing the heat round. At a distance of 500 meters, this is a normal engagement range. The only thing you're not getting through is the turret, and you will be able to get through everything else. And obviously, you can see what a heat round will do to anyone who's carrying enough ammo for it to get hit. Yeah, so from the front, an XM1, which actually I should correct myself, you can't face this. This is a 9.3, so assuming you stick to an 8.0 lineup, you will never face an XM1 or anything really with composite armor. So you should never ever be in this situation, but let's pretend that, for example, you brought this into an 8.3 or something with a lineup, or did what I did for the first couple of matches and you forgot to take out your 8.3 SPAA and replace it with your 8.0, and you get up tier to see an XM1, you can still use it. It's still completely doable. 380 pen is a little lackluster for a heat round, but it's totally doable, and we will see that in a couple of matches that I'm gonna play. But in terms of everything else, I'm gonna quickly get some backups just so that I can play it more for you guys. And um, yeah, I don't have any camos or anything, so unfortunately, you guys have to stick with the stock camo of just the American brown paint. But for now, let's take a quick look at the armor. So there's no composite armor or anything like that, as you can see in the X-ray. Armor-wise, you've got, let's see, about effective 216 um, of armor here. How about we put this in protection analysis so that I can show you a bit better. So against heat, which will do the same as APFSDS or AP whatever armor piercing shell you want. Um, from the front, at a range of 500 meters, you've got 200 millimeters protection. You can angle that too. So whenever I face tanks, I can angle. As you can see, there's like some areas where you can manage to get that's a heat round though. Like that's different. But there. Let me put this against something else. D95. Actually, let's do Germany. Germany 8.0. Not a Gepard. They don't have anything 8.0. Okay. I know Russian has 8.0 for sure, right? Come on. I see 8.3. Rank 6. Object 906. Perfect. Alright. APHE. The Russian APHE. Alright. As you can see, this front plate and this lower plate, at an angle like this at 500 meters, you can't pen it, and you can't pen the sides unless you get, like, who is going to be able to hit around right there? Like, that is insane. So the angling on this tank is really good if you know how to work it. Um, so from the front, no angle. This, by the way, let's check this pen. So this says 245 millimeters pen at 10 meters distance. So at 500 meters, we're working with 230. And, oh, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It's not the same as heat. So heat, obviously, I'm guessing has some sort of other quality characteristic that kind of defeats the angling, perhaps. I'm not really sure, but it has an effective 317 against armor piercing from the front. Okay, that's really good. And lower plate is an auto ricochet at 500 meters, unless you hit right here, and it's 500 millimeters of armor. So lower plate's an auto ricochet, upper plate's a no pen for like basically all 8.0 Russian APHE. The turret, where are you gonna shoot this turret so that you can get the crew, but not the gun barrel? Like, someone puts a round right there, the mantlet can absorb it. That's how good this thing is. Like, it's not like if someone sees you, it's like, oh crap, just shoot his gun. If they miss your barrel and go for the mantlet, there are very few spots where they're actually going to get it. Obviously, the turret ring is a bit of a weak spot. If they hit that, they'll penetrate, and an APHE will kill you. If we're talking about turret cheeks, this is a very, very, very weird spot. Okay, they have to hit right on the inside, basically at the turret ring, in order to penetrate, and they will get a one shot on you. So it is definitely a very worrisome part of the tank. But like, you're telling me from 500 meters people can just loop one shell right there perfectly? I think it's possible. I don't think it's realistic. So yeah, this tank is basically it's really good. The major weak point obviously is just this commander's cupola up on top. APHE will go in, it will do that, and it might one shot you, it might not. But assuming people don't hit this, there's no way to penetrate the tank from the front with most Russian APHE. So, with that being said, let's go get into a game and troll some Russians. So I'm using an all 8.0 lineup. There's some lower tier things in here just because it's hard to find perfectly 8.0 things that I have. If I had the Sheridan, that'd be nice. With the ATGMs, or the M3 Bradley would be amazing with its autocannon mixed with ATGMs. I don't. That'd be awesome to get, but as you can see, I'm quite behind in the line. So it's basically, I've got like an 8.0 helicopter, an 8.0 SPA, and an 8.0 tank mixed with some 6.7s all the way up to 7.7s. And that's just the way things are going to be. This tank is, I usually, like, if I die, it's towards the end of a match, or it's because I exposed my side armor, or it's because someone got my armor at a non-angle. So, like, I don't know how to say this, but, like, oh, jeez, I just lost my train of thought. If let's say we're on a downhill slope, right, and they're eye level with us, that basically negates all of the angling on the tank. So all of this, the kind of like, if you can see the image where it splits between the upper plate and the lower plate, right here and here, if someone's shooting at us from here, that's completely negated and that armor is easily penetrable. Which is why you want to try and keep your opponents on a level playing field or go hull down. That's also a pretty easy thing to do. Against heat FS, there's not a whole lot you can do. Like I said, you only get like 219 millimeters of protection against heat FS on the front, which is nothing. Heat FS usually, or heat in general, usually has, like at 8.0 for this example, has 380. You never see lower than that. So unfortunately, if the enemy is firing heat, they will butter your armor. But unless they're tank destroyers, most Russians are firing APHE due to its killing, potential. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. I would say that I'm pretty sure the Britain gets some darts around this tier, and those can also go through your armor. But like I said, Russian APHE, which let's see if we are facing off against this time. Yep, Russia APHE. They're probably the dominant. Germany is using mostly heat FS at this tier, with some darts as well. So a big threat. China, I don't even know what China has at this tier, and Italy, again, I have no clue because I got recently added, and yeah, I haven't done enough updating myself on that. So we're going to take this into the city, which is where I would recommend playing this tank. It's not like it's got like a 3-meter long gun. This gun is not going to expose you from around a corner, but it also means that you can turn the corner and have your gun trained on them and to have them be very surprised. So anyway, let's head on to the center of the city here. Looks like our team's already capped A. That's great. We're getting some ticket bleed. So we're gonna head in here. Looks like our team is really just taking on the entirety of this kind of city, basically head on. Not a worry in the world. I'm guessing there are people up there, so we're gonna flank right here, and we're gonna take a look what we can do inside the city. It's an M56 Scorpion. He's gonna tell me if I'm gonna get shot, because they'd rather shoot him because they can do it with machine guns. It's not that hard. So I think I might have seen a tank, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, if the Scorpion wants to push first, I don't mean to bait my teammates, but really it's up to him. Okay, it looks like we're gonna be able to get out of here. Okay, we're gonna look right. Don't see anything. That helicopter's also spotting for us. Alright, we're gonna make our way up into the city a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if later on in this match I have to worry about people coming from like this area down here on the map, just because it's by that point they'll have flanked. There's an enemy helicopter up here. Or am I hearing that behind me? I might be hearing that behind me as a friendly. Oh, I might have saw something. There might be something coming up this road to get me. M56 has got a target. So I'm just going to make sure that he doesn't get me killed and get around here. Ricochet. I'd be eager for Gaijin to tell me how that just ricocheted, but I guess that's just Gaijin for you. This gets an armor-piercing discarding Sabo round, so we can just take his loader out. That's his gunner, or his gun and breach. So let's just make sure there's nothing else that's going to kill us from over there. And then we can take our time finishing him off. It's going to be a direct shot to the hull. Just let the heat do its thing. Okay, that only got his gunner because I guess maybe the heat didn't work. Good news is I can just go for his ammo next. The 14-second reload does kind of mean that I have to push this a little bit, but sorry, I'm not worried. Get his ammo, target destroyed. Alright. Oh, I didn't even get his ammo. That's a bummer. Oh, we got killed by the side? Oh, that looked like it came right from the building. Yeah, so that 14-second reload there got us killed by a Chinese copy of the ZSU-57. So, or yeah, I don't know what you want to call it, a leased version perhaps. So we're going to take this out again. It's going to take us a minute to get back. My main concern is that there's going to be a tank over here that's going to get me. So we're going to make sure we go the long way. I mean, I guess if you have nothing else to play, you could play a T95 on this map. I mean, like, yes, the city is perfect for it, because as long as you keep everything in front of you, you should be okay, apart from heat. But I mean, I thought this thing was slow, but that is so beyond slow. Excuse me. Alright. So yeah, I mean, like, in that instance, I forget what killed me. I think, oh yeah, it was that AA. So if I had been facing him, he would have not done anything except possibly disable my gun. So I'm just gonna keep in mind there's an AA somewhere in this direction. It might be dead by now, but it was certainly closer to their spawn. Alright, I think we head down the road of doom. See what we can find. You do have to give an abnormal amount of elevation whenever you want to hit targets, just because of the fact that you're firing heat, which means the shell's going to travel, or it's going to lose its energy a lot quicker, because it's definitely not as thin as a dart. But the good news is, at any range, it's going to do 380 pen, because the heat doesn't work with its energy in order to get you. It works with the fact that it's chemically, that the chemicals inside get propelled into the tank at 380 millimeters worth of effectiveness. So we should be all good. Now this T-95 is currently repairing. I'm assuming it's because something from over there shot him. Maybe it wants me to. I'm gonna angle. I don't see anything. I wanna make sure this T-95 doesn't get side shot. He's good. This guy's on fire. We're gonna be looking for anything in the area that could have done that. This is where I found that AA earlier. I got stuck on a little something there. He's facing this way, which leads me to believe that there's the guy that got him is through there, but that would be broken if that was the case, so he's not. You're kidding. Gaijin, please. Gaijin. How many ricochets am I gonna get? I know heat is prone to ricocheting at high angles, but like, please, that thing is like 10 millimeters of armor. And you're telling me I just bounced. Oh, I didn't see that until too late. Alright, well, that's all I got for you for the M60A2 for this match. Let's see if we can spawn it in. Yeah, we can get our radar guided AA up. And I want belts of HE, because the AP on this thing doesn't do anything. So give me 2 belts of that. We'll be good. Critical hit, he's not recovering from that. He's going down. Right aileron. It's going to lead to some problems from him. I hear a plane over here. Oh, that would be why he's right on top of us. Glad he didn't go for me. Let's see. Get hit by someone. Oh, I got ground strafed. Oh, by a narwhal, of course. Alright, that's all I got for this battle. Once again, just displaying my poor situational awareness in almost all scenarios by getting myself killed very frequently. So we'll take it into one more, see what we can do. I think maybe later on I'll make a review on some SPAA, because I feel like people don't give SPAA enough value. I think people don't enjoy playing SPAA until they get radar, because, well, then you get a lead indicator, for RB at least. So maybe, I'm not sure, I was one of those people too. I didn't really enjoy playing SPAA. So let's see. Okay, LL main. This time, compared to my last video with the Abrams, this time we're going to be with Eastern spawns. So I'm going to take the M60A2 Starship and head to the southern spawn. And we're going to see what we can do long range, so to speak, or mid range. So we're going to head immediately west on the map. And we're going to try and catch out everyone that is heading through this path right here. Like this kind of like dunes area to catch people trying to enter the city. So we're going to head that way. It looks like we got an up tier to 9.0 because there's an XM803. So we'll see. Good news is any helicopters coming in will get spotted by that SPAA and we'll have warning because they'll start shooting. So yeah, this thing is very slow on dunes. It's very slow on anything but pavement. That's a rock. It's a weird looking rock from this range. I don't know. We'll find out what's gonna happen. I mean, this tank has some, let's see. I forget the numbers of the gun depression, but that looks like, what, a solid 8 degrees maybe? 7, 8 degrees. So we shouldn't have too many issues if the ridgelines aren't, like, steep like that. And as long as we can try and keep the engagement like this against any APHE, we should be fine, because that's a pretty narrow shot into the cupola. I do understand, before I get flamed in the comments, I do understand that we are heading away from the objective, but that objective, or the position we're heading, is going to give us direct line of sight into a large entry point for the enemy, which I believe they're already trying to make their way to. Yep, that is a tank over there. So we are going to position ourselves to shoot it. This might take a second. What's my general range? Okay, that T-62 just got lit up. What about the tank over here? That's greater than 968. So we're thinking like that, range-wise. See, I'm thinking this is probably a pretty decent spot to prevent people from getting up there. That T-62 took a pretty poor approach into getting himself into a good position. He just drove straight across the middle of the map, got himself killed. This guy is slow. Let's see, I just saw some sort of dust cloud over here. Pretty sure it's a tank. That M60A2 is forming the big flank. That's a tank. No, that's a bush. The good news is at this range, our armor is very effective. We really, if anyone's firing APHG, we don't have to worry about it as long as we're facing them, or at least to some degree angling against it. I was kind of expecting more people to come down this way, so I'm very sad that this is not going to be giving us the best gameplay, but what's that? I just saw some dust cloud of some sort. Alright, well, let's see what this thing does downhill with a push. 50 kmh, that's not too bad. That's like, what, 20 miles an hour? Getting up hills is very sluggish. But one key feature I forgot to mention in the garage before we got into battle, but I'm sure you picked up on it by now, is this comes stabilizer equipped. So, you can shoot on the move, you can shoot very, very easily without too much worry. I have to get on my toes now because I'm pretty sure there's a tank over here. I hear a helicopter, AH-1G friendly. Okay, I think there's a tank up here. Judging by how many things that are getting shot. Explosions. Might be a tank over there too. We're going to use the city to our cover. That also might have been the helicopter taking a pot shot at something. We'll see, but like, so those look like some rocket impacts, but single, maybe? I'm not sure. Poorly aimed ATGMs, I doubt they'd waste 3. No, those look like rocket impact points, yep. That's what that is. Which means that the helicopter was taking shots at something. But the worrying fact is that I don't see anybody around here. This is quite boring. I apologize. If you find this boring and unenjoyable, I completely get it. I'd recommend just skipping ahead in the video. Yeah. Looks like whatever was being shot at here is since vanished, or maybe it's what I saw over there earlier. Not really too sure. Thought I heard an engine for a second, so I stopped. We're getting dangerously close to their spawn here. I was really just hoping to work my way back up this way. But obviously, if I see a tank, I'm not going to pass up on it. Looks like that M60A2 either J'd out or got taken out. That's a bit of a worrying fact. Or mystery, I should say. I think I hear something. No, it's just my own tank. We got taken out by T-62. Alright, let's see from where. Okay, rock camping. Yeah, Great map design, I guess. Great map design. Um, I thought I was staying away from the objective. Let's take out a helicopter and go get him. Why not, right? 370 spawn points, that's not enough for a plane, so let's go get him with the Mighty Mouse rockets. Alright. I rarely play this helicopter, I will say that. So I'm taking it out with gun pods and rockets. And we're going to go see what we can find. This is a very slow helicopter. It's literally the first one in the line. The AH-1G, I believe. Yep. Excuse me. I believe this is a user skin I have for it. Yeah, the Marines. But in terms of effectiveness, I would say this is a scale of 1 to 10, about a 3. It's not too good. Aircraft can shoot you out of the sky. You have basically no defense except for one turret that can go 180 degrees left and right. Or 180 degrees in total, 90 left, 90 right. There is an enemy aircraft up, which means I will have to try and shoot it at some point. But for now, I'm going to stick to the ground and see what we can do. When I say this is slow, we're doing 240 kph. So that's beyond slow for a helicopter, for any aircraft. Okay, we got one aircraft over there. I don't see anything else over here. We're gonna keep it low. Why couldn't I spawn at that helicopter base? Why'd I have to spawn all the way back at here? What's up with that? I can't tell if that aircraft's RTB or if they're coming for the battlefield, but we're gonna lower our collective a little bit, see if we can get an increase in RPM, get a little bit faster. I'm not really sure. They might be heading left or right to left as well. I hear aircraft engine. Alright, so my main goal for this is basically revenge killing. That T-62 for camping the rocks for his life. So I'm going to fly super low, and then right at where I think he was, I'm going to pull up, and we're going to see what we can do. I think that aircraft was RTB because I don't see it, which means I've got maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes before they come back into view and they can start spotting me out. That aircraft is friendly, I believe. Yep, there's the R2Y2. Okay, that's an SPA. We're gonna dive down now. And we're dead. Yep. He spotted me really quickly. I don't think he even had me on the radar. He just got me really quick. Oh no, we still have our SPA to play, so we're gonna play our SPA. I understand this is supposed to be a tank review of the M60A2, but looks like you're gonna get the worst imaginable 8.0 lineup instead. So now we'll take out the M163. This is a very early version of SPA that are radar guided. Basically, you have a 7-kilometer cone that you can track in. You have to be in the site in order to acquire a target. And then once you acquire that target, you can go out and shoot. But you will not get a radar notification of an incoming aircraft. You have to spot all of your targets with your eyes. And then you can lock them up on the radar. So just going around spamming, hitting acquire until you get something doesn't work. You need to look. And obviously, if for some reason you can't get a lock, you can always use the Mark 1 eyeball. Do whatever you can to get him. He's not a dogfight, is he? No. What's he doing? I don't know. We're going to head up here where we can possibly get a little bit better of a angle on anything coming in from the enemy airbase. So the M163 Vulcan is it's the, I don't know exactly which hull it is, but it's the same one that the, I can't think of it right now. I'll show you back in the garage later on, but it is it's a common hull for an infantry fighting vehicle at this time, and they designed a turret and gun, I guess, or they probably brought in the gun, but the turret, and they put a 20 millimeter Gatling gun on it with 1,000 rounds per kind of like thing of it. Why is this struggling to get up the slope? What? This is like maybe what, a 30-degree slope, and he's struggling. It's all right. But yeah, it is very effective against aircraft. It's similar to, like, if you think about now the Starships, for example, how they have that either 20 or 30 millimeter Gatling gun mounted in the bottom left nose of their nose. Um, it's kind of similar to that in how it functions. If they fly in a straight line, you shoot in a straight line, they die very quickly. You have incredible output in terms of rounds per minute. There's an SPA up here that we're going to try and see if we can handle. It's not stabilized, so realistically, if you're going to shoot at something, you're going to stop to shoot at something. Okay, but getting a notification that there's an SPA coming up right around here. Okay, now he knows we're coming. I guess that stinks. Let's go see. We've got a Type 87 with us as well. Maybe something else. I hear something to our right, and the second I look, the Capard gets me because I'm looking. What did I even hear to my right? There's nothing over there. Alright, well, that is... Oh, I'm glad I returned to my hangar. I'm not sure what that was all about. I thought I was better respawn in a backup. I did not want to do that. So those were the two worst games I could possibly play. Not quite, but in a M60A2. You're really not going to know how to play this thing until you have time, until you have experience. I don't have either, so this is basically a first impressions on the stock grind. So yeah, this has been my M60A2 Starship review. Hopefully I've covered everything I can to help you guys in deciding whether or not you think it is worth coming for in terms of everything that you have to get before it. Because, let me tell you, everything after the M18 is useless, including the T95 and the M36. T95 is a fun tank, if you don't have to move, and you always do in this, you know, high-tier map meta. This is what I was thinking about earlier, by the way, in terms of the chassis. It's the same chassis for the SPA. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Wow, 73 KRP in the last, like, 3 days alone. That's insane. Okay, well, anyway, I don't want to drag this on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So far, I've got, like, 3 views on my last video on the M1 Abrams, which is, to be honest, amazing. Those 3 views are not all mine. I think I've watched it once, so that means that 2 people have watched it, which is awesome. But I would really appreciate it even if, like, you just come across these videos, just literally throw a thumbs up on it, because it will help me get out there. It will help me get my name out there so that people will come and start watching it. So yeah, I would really appreciate if you guys did that. But anyway, this has been a review of the M60A2. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.